Tonight, Harper Creek knocked out Hillsdale 62-54. DeWitt beats Frankenmuth 54-53 and moves on. But the game of the night was in Class C in the regionals at Langsburg. Take a look at this one. It with the Bath Beasts of Coach Jeff Watch against New Lothrop, and what a game this was. This one was destined to be a good one start to finish, and when junior Eli Redmond of Bath, who had 33 points, hit that one near the buzzer, we're going to overtime at 69. Adam Post of New Lothrop makes it 74-71. Bath's Mark Schneider is going to tie it up 74 all. Let's go play a second overtime. And the Bees were buzzing in this session. Cody Cox is going to hit to make it 76-74 Bath. And then Redmond comes back to make it 78-74. And Bath wins at 83-76 double overtime to go to 20-4. Bath and Flint Beecher for the regional title in Langsburg Friday night, 7 o'clock. Afterward, Bath coach Jeff Watch was a happy guy.
I'm blessed to have an experienced team with 8 seniors on it. So, you know, when we need a bucket, they know where to go, and it's usually inside. It's a game those kids are going to remember forever, you know, both teams. We were just lucky enough to come out on top because it could have gone either way.
Michigan.
In Class C, Bath looking for their second straight regional crown as the Fighting Bees met Flint Beecher at Langsburg High School. Pick up the action in the third quarter. Brett Monroe will get the Bees and their fans pumped up with that slam. Bath leads it 32-28. Last minute of regulation now. Off the steal. Bath's Curtis Chafee going to handle the ball here. He goes up and lays it in. Bath leads 57-54 in this game. But Simeo Overall would hit a big three here for the Buccaneers to tie the score right there. And Beecher even had a chance to win it in the final seconds. But both shots here would go in and out. Look at the second one coming up here. This one saves Bath's year. Head coach Jeff Wantz relieved. It's overtime again for the Bees for the second straight game. But Monroe to Cody Cox, that puts Bath up there. They wouldn't look back. Beecher manages just one bucket in the extra frame. 68-59 your final. The Bees move on to Tuesday night's quarterfinals.
It was in our expectations, our goals. Did I think it was going to take 3 overtimes? I don't know if you could ever predict that. They're so experienced, especially, I mean, they played overtime games before, but coming right out of one and, you know, having some tired legs, you know, they do a great job. They showed a lot of guts tonight.
A lot of guts.
They made their way here from just 8 miles away. Bath High School from the Central Michigan Athletic Conference considers this one of their shortest road trips of the season. It is easily their biggest. And championship games may seem to be old hat at Saginaw Nouvel Catholic, but they're just not. Each one is cherished. Each one is celebrated because it is so hard to get here. The Panthers hope to continue their amazing athletic school year this afternoon. They'll go up against the Bath Bees to determine the Class C championship in the state of Michigan. Hi, everybody, welcome back inside the Breslin Center in our continuing coverage of the MHSAA basketball finals here on FSN Detroit. I'm John Keating, joined by Tim McCormick. Well, Class C is a matter of the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end, because Bath and Saginaw Nouvel have played each other already this year, but that was a basketball lifetime ago, wasn't it?
It certainly was. It was actually last summer, and the heated rivalry was in a summer league. It was confrontational, physical, and John, the words were spoken. Oh yeah, we'll see you guys in March in the Breslin. Well, it's come to fruition.
And maybe there was a message to be sent way back when. The coach at Saginaw Nouvel remembers that day is getting, well, a little bit chippy.
It got physical at times. The kids got pretty heated. You know, there definitely was a lot of talk going back and forth. But it was just 2 quality teams competing early on in the summer, and at that particular time, we didn't think anything of it. But after that, those 2 games, the kids were excited to say, hey, we hopefully we'll get a chance to meet him at the Breslin.
And Coach Wood can have a lot of confidence in his rivalry because his team is powered by Tim Ryan, the Class C Player of the Year. He's skinny and skilled, averages around 23 points per game, and gets it done on the glass as well.
So Ryan is the go-to guy for Saginaw Nouvel. Bath has a couple of go-to guys. They're rather different players, though they're forces up front, Cody Cox and Eli Redmond.
This dynamic duo is very special because they get so many things done in the semifinals against Kalamazoo Christian. They combined for 42 points. Their ability to play inside and out in transition makes them a very difficult matchup.
On the floor, Redmond and Cox depend upon each other. It was a relationship forged when no one else was around.
All summer, it was just me and Eli one-on-one, waking up every morning at 6 o'clock, playing one-on-one with each other and just trying to thrive off each other's game. So, I mean, the kid's amazing. He's 6'7". He's long and lanky. We get some muscle on him. We feed him food every day, but he just can't gain weight somehow. I don't know what it is, but, I mean, he's got a nice little shot on him. He can go inside and outside. So, I mean, we try to thrive off each other and just bang with each other in practice so we both get a little more physical.
A nice problem to have, trying to get a little more physical, put on some weight, but that's the beauty. The thing that makes him so good is he doesn't have that bulk. He's so athletic, and he's so good in transition.
Nouvel Catholic has won 3 state basketball championships. Bath has won 1, but that was a McCormick ago. That was way back in 1960. Who will win here in 2007? We're about to determine that on FSN Detroit. East Lansing, Saginaw Nouvel against Bath from nearby. Just 8 miles away are the Bath Fighting Bees. Let's find out the participants, at least from the starting lineup. Here's Eric Oforset.
And now let's make the starting lineups for today's game between the Panthers of Saginaw Nouvel High School and the Fighting Bees of Bath High School. For Saginaw Nouvel at forward, 6'2" junior, number 20, David Kaczmarski. For Bath High School at forward, 6'7" junior, 21, Eli Redmond. For Nouvel at forward, 6'3" senior, 24, Tim Ryan. For Bath High School at forward, 6'2" senior, 33, Brett Monroe. For the Panthers at center, 6'5" sophomore, 52, Jared Rappin. For the Bees at center, 6'6" senior, 22, Cody Cox. For Saginaw, Novella guard, 5'9" senior, 32, Mike Kessler. For the Bees at guard, 5'10" senior, number 4, Curtis Chafee.
Both teams are, thank you.
The other guard for Nouvel, 6'2" junior, 34, Mitch Mulcahy. And for the Bath at guard, 5'9" junior, 13, Mike Snyder. Head coach, Saginaw Nouvel High School, Warren Wood. Head coach, Bath High School, Jim Munch. Officials today, Mike Peltz, Ken McKee, and Mike Fitz.
Oh, to have the face painting concession in our state today. There's Warren Wood, the head coach of the Panthers of Saginaw Nouvel Catholic in his 3rd season. And Bath is coached by former Bath Fighting Bee, Jeff Wunsch. There's Jeff Wunsch, all of 26 years old, just slightly older than many of his players. And let's check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Shireen Saski. Shireen.
Thanks, John. You know, the Panthers are going for their 3rd state title in just 5 months. It started in November when the football team won the Division 6 championship. It carried over to December. The girls basketball team won the Class C title. And now boys basketball is going for the trifecta. 10 players on the roster today already won a championship in football. They're trying to win again today, and if they do so, Nouvel becomes the first school since Country Day and the only 2 schools to win 3 titles in those sports in 1 school year. Guys?
How about that? Shireen Saski's new best friend has blue hair. Who knew? Who knew? Let's check in with what happened in the Bath locker room just moments before our opening tip.
That ball goes up, we're playing, okay? That's the most comfortable spot we've been all year, is out on that court. All right, so let's play our game. We'll beat these guys.
Each team is 23-4 as they come to the final game of the Class C season, the one to determine the state championship. Glad you're along with us here at the Breslin Center.
John, I believe a big key in this game is for Nouvel. The fact that their players have played in championship games, they know what it takes to close. They've experienced the bright lights of a championship, and it'll be very interesting to see Bath, who is a very strong and well-coached team, how they respond to this high-energy situation.
Some of these Panthers played at Ford Field in the state football championship last fall. And what a double dip this is. Mitch Mulcahy. On a wing, Mike Kessler. There's Tim Ryan, Class C Player of the Year. Kessler baseline. His shot is short, but rebounded for the moment by Ryan. And out of bounds to Bath.
A couple of teams that like man-to-man defense. I love the fundamentals that are taught. You know, you can sit back in a zone and it's actually an easier way to play, but I like coaches that teach their guys how to defend with the basics.
Over and back. And it turned right back over to the Panthers of Saginaw Nouvel Catholic. Bath will start Chafee, Schneider, Monroe, Redmond, and Cox. Kessler, Mulcahy, Ryan, White, and Rappin for the Panthers. Brett Monroe always draws the tough defensive assignment. He's got a tough one today with Tim Ryan. Right back in the face, there's Rappin. There's a scrappy Ryan underneath. And Redmond comes away with the basketball. Monroe to Kessler. Check that. Chafee. There's Cody Cox. Inside he goes. Back up and in. Off the mark and off the leg of David Kazmierski.
Now, offensively, there's really no deception on what the Bees want to do. They feature really good post players, and they're going to run their motion offense until they get a good look to get that entry.
Redmond, turnaround jumper, got it.
Do they say they want to put weight on him? He looks like he's got some great lift and athleticism. I think he'll put it on later in life. Don't you find that to be an issue?
I have found that to be the case. I'm here to tell you. Redmond rebounds and comes away with it. Almost a travel. Chafee takes it in. And in a scramble for the ball, Tim Ryan comes away with it. Feed into the middle, back to Ryan. Give and go, yes. Cody Cox. His shot won't go. And you see the great springs in the legs of Tim Ryan. Mulcahy, nice dish to Kazmierski. And Redmond forced the turnover. And it's a bit of a scramble right now. Foul on Chafee, Ryan gets the bucket, and he'll shoot a free throw.
This has been a fun start to this game, and I can tell you what is happening. The coaches talk to the players about, all right, we're going to run this play, and we're going to do this. And when the emotions start, it just becomes an emotional scramble out there. Nice finish in transition. Very strong competitors, Tim Ryan. He's going to be a baseball player at Oakland University, where his brother is a star as well.
He had told me he might rethink that baseball notion and perhaps play basketball as well, if Greg Campy allows that. Or he might draw some basketball interest additionally. He barely converts the three-point play, but does so. And now 5 points for Tim Ryan. It's Ryan 5 and Bath 2. Cody Cox, nice feed inside to Redden.
6 a.m. wake-up calls, huh?
That's what they said. That's tough to do for high school kids.
Isn't that the type of chemistry that you build, though, when you wake up and you work and you train and you sweat and you have dreams? It really translates into understanding what the other guy's goals are and where he likes the ball and what move. That was a very pretty delivery.
Nick White from downtown. Tough rebound. That rolls in for John McColgan. A 3-point lead for Nouvel. Brett Monroe has it tapped away by Ryan. Quick hands. Mitch Mulcahy. Inside he goes. It's McColgan again. Another roll. Both coaches will use lots of players off the bench, keep everybody fresh. Monroe for 3. Rebound to McColgan.
The secondary break for Nouvel is very strong. They look for the quick hitter. If it's not there, they run a little structured motion.
Whistle. And a travel on Nick White. Nick White did not play in the semifinal game. He's had a slight cartilage tear in his knee. And an ankle sprain. And still, his coach says he will die for everything. Cox underneath. Great pump.
Look at the body inside. They're just so tough to deal with. Cody Cox is so strong physically, and his partner on the front line so athletic. Talking about Eli Redmond.
White, pump fake, springs him, but he can't convert. McColgan rebounds and gets called for a travel. Cody Cox, who has the playoff beard working. He says he refused to shave until after they had won a championship. We'll see if they do here at the Breslin Center on this day.
Meeting a team.
Each team got here. The Bath Path found them getting past Kalamazoo Christian in one semifinal, while Saginaw Nouvel came through Detroit Community and Charlevoix to the point that they are playing for their 3rd state championship this school year. And our road to the finals brought to you by Wallside Window.
Do you write your own material? The Bath Path, that's very strong.
Sadly, yes. I'm not sure anybody else would or should, now that I think about it.
The menacing Panther.
Really? Okay.
I'm scared.
Curtis Chafee with the basketball. Bath down by 3. Inside they go to Redmond. Nice pump fake to free him, but his shot won't go. And McColgan, a big part of the early going for the Panthers. That shot is up by Kessler, and that will roll in. Saginaw Nouvel will play with a physical style. Chafee shoots right over the top. As mentioned, this is a team that won the state football championship. And the question has been addressed, is it a basketball team playing football or vice versa? And they have some elements of each in their games. And tenacity is certainly a common thread.
The defensive dilemma here is they can shoot the ball, they're good off the dribble, and they have a solid post attack. You know that Nouvel is very tough physically, and I like that element. When you have so many football players, you know they'll compete.
Tim Ryan follows up his own miss. Bath is trying to switch off on Ryan. Cox and Monroe, and still Tim scored the bucket. He's now 7 points.
Scary to think he may be a better baseball player than basketball.
Redmond, shot won't go. Rebound by Ryan. major slashing aspect to his game. Offensive foul. So there was more smash and not as much slash in that instance. Timmy's first. And here come reserves in waves. Kazmierski comes in. Jared Rappin comes in. Tim Ryan will get a blow.
Yeah, I like that strategy a lot. Mass substitutions. The bench guys know that there are minutes at stake in practice. They compete extra hard. And the starters know that they're going to go 6 minutes and then get a little bit of a rest at the end of the first quarter. Good strategy by Coach Warren Wood.
Kyle James has entered the ball game for Bath. Inside he goes to Redmond. Surrounded by a couple of Panthers. Monroe. To Redmond inside. Another look inside. And a whistle and a foul. Foul is on Nick White.
A little post passing inside. If you get the ball right into the center, defense commits going inside to Mike Hawkins, who has really faced some adversity. Was in the starting lineup, big kid around 6'1". Then he broke his foot, missed about half the season, and when he came back, he's not quite 100%, but he's done nothing but advance the cause of their bench, and he wants to go to the Marine Corps. So always looking for a few good men.
Absolutely. Hawkins hits one. It's 13-9. Front court to Mulcahy. Shot is blocked. And it is first down, Nouvel. Nick White can't hit anything. And out of bounds to Bath. The Fighting Bees.
What an incredible environment in here. Nearly a sellout. A lot of face painting, pom-poms, kids jumping up and down, signs. This is the beauty of high school basketball.
2 more championships still to come. Cedarville won the first one, a Class D championship. Redmond hits. And the B and the A to follow. White, rebound up and in by Ryan Palmer. Chafee. Monroe, back to Chafee. A lot of motion. Chafee goes into the paint. Wide open, but his shot rims out. That is rebounded and put back up and in by Mike Hawkins.
Have you noticed how soft these rims are in here? The ball, if you put it up there, it's going in.
Tom Izzo might have had something to do with that. Is that your suggestion? 15-13, just 2 points separate the 2 finalists in the Class C championship game here at the Breslin Center. We'll continue as we head toward the second quarter here on FSN Detroit. Well, those with the headgear see their team down by a bucket as we head toward the second quarter here in the Class C championship game coming April 15th to FSN Detroit. It's the next edition of MHSAA Magazine, a seasonal recap of state finals competition, highlighting the team and individual champions in all sports. The winter edition of MHSAA Magazine premieres Sunday, April 15th at 5 p.m. here on FSN Detroit. So the beginning of this game, first quarter, Mr. McCormick, some thoughts?
Well, I was impressed with the post game, the interior attack of Nouvel. 12 of their 15 points in the paint. And another key story to look at is the rebounding. Obviously, Nouvel is big and physical. They're already +5 in the first quarter alone. That's a big number.
And you look at the offensive rebounds there displayed graphically. Bath will inbounds the ball to start the second quarter. The alternate possession. Bath in white, Saginaw Nouvel in blue. Monroe looks inside to Cody Cox. He takes it up strong. But just a little short. And Tim Ryan will rebound.
Some really good players in this game, John. the fundamentals, just like the Class D game earlier, the pass, the cut, the shooting from the perimeter.
Mitch Mulcahy drains a three. It rattled a bit, but it was drained. Cox inside. Nice spin. Sweet move from Cody Cox. One of his classmates refer to him as Kobe Cox.
I get it.
Signs to that effect were displayed here at the Breslin Center in the semifinal game. Ryan will dish off to Mulcahy. Kessler to Mulcahy. Bath with the man-to-man. Brett Monroe following Tim Ryan all over the court. And Ryan will take the shot. This shot won't go. Cox with a tap away, and then the rebound, and then he leaves the break. Slowed down by Kessler. That's sort of a patented move for Cody. That hard plant and spin. Mulcahy again. It's too strong.
Like Cox does a little bit of everything out there. He can lead the break, he can rebound. Mid-range is good. Opportunity in transition.
A 1-on-3 for Mulcahy. And a foul.
As we extol the virtues of Cody Cox, what a matchup nightmare. He's good off the dribble. He's able to rebound the basketball, go in transition. You're scared to death of the jump shot. But how about the worries about the razor burn? you got to watch out there.
He is 6'6", a senior. Is Cody Cox. He was enjoying his music before today's game, trying to relax.
Yeah, we never used to do that in the old days because it was hard to shoot with the boom box on your shoulder.
Tough to carry those 8-track tapes around with you when you're walking around. It's a shot up and in by Ryan Palmer. Saginaw Nouvel getting great production from their bench players, more so than they did in the semifinal game. Cox dishes off to Redmond nicely. There's some of that chemistry that we talked about at the beginning of the show. Chemistry developed over time during the summer. Ryan so quick off that first step. And it's a 6-point lead for the Panthers. Now we've settled into a nice pace. Chafee. Redmond back to Chafee. Over Ryan. Just short. Rebound to the Panthers.
And one of the hidden skills, one of the sort of the extinct basketball skills is the ability to put the ball on the floor and create. And these are two teams that do it very well. The passing, watch the ball fakes and the shot fakes. It's a very fundamental matchup, and that's a foul.
Tim Ryan will shoot a couple of free throws.
And foul 33, Monroe. It's
foul on Brett Monroe,
shooting foul.
who has a full day of work ahead of him.
Well, Tim Ryan is very tough and tenacious. Earlier in his career, he was playing a game against Reese High School, and he dove on the floor and completely cut open his chin, and he ran into the locker room, and they didn't have time to stitch him up, so they put a bunch of napkins on his chin and taped him up where the tape went all the way over the top of his head, back down around his chin, and he came to his coach and said, "I'm ready to go."
The discussion, the delay, was whether it is 2 or 3. And Tim Ryan will shoot 3 free throws. He was beyond the arc when he was fouled. And he misses the first of the 3. 69% free throw shooter. Tim is a kid who told us after the semifinal win, he kind of ran out of gas. He's so excited to play the game, he just kind of hit a wall, had to sort of gather himself and lead his team into the championship game after a win over Charlevoix, 67-54. on Thursday here at the Breslin Center. And made mention of his Ford Field experience. Same kind of thing. And that's something that we cannot discount. These kids have to keep their emotions in check. Have to be able to relax as much as possible and still play their game. Cox, the give and go, came up just a little bit short on the lay-in. Mike Kessler running the offense, which generally involves Tim Ryan. Rappin. Nice follow. What a shot by Tim Ryan. Tracking the ball and getting it down. And then another nice feed from Cox, but Ryan comes away with a loose ball.
You can really see why Ryan would wear himself out. He's so high energy.
Rappin shot. That won't go. And the ball is taken away by White. There you see some football skills.
Working the sideline. Got his feet inbounds. Good catch.
Kessler all the way to the basket. And the foul. Mike Kessler is playing this game for a particular purpose. His dad passed away not too long ago. Tough on the entire Saginaw Nouvel community. And his dad always told Mike to do his best every time he stepped on the floor. And those are lessons that Mike brings into a championship game here this afternoon. Cox very quick for a bigger guy. Monroe. That's too strong. Jared Rappin is fouled from behind. And we are going to take a break with under 3.5 to play now until halftime. Saginaw Nouvel has opened up a 12-point cushion on the Fighting Bees of Bath. An 8-0 run has Nouvel up by 12 as we reach the secondary stages of the second quarter. Saginaw Nouvel trying to follow up their basketball championship with a football championship with many of the same faces.
We're getting to the stage where it's not just strictly a football team playing basketball, but where we're getting solid athletes that can play basketball and football. Our skill level in the 3 years since I've been there has really improved. So I give our kids a lot of credit for working during the off season on that.
More than anything else, football is a toughness sport. It's about being focused on your matchups, and I just think there's a strong translation of what happens out there and what happens in here.
Tim Ryan, when he played football, a wide receiver, as mentioned, also plays baseball and has aspirations of playing baseball in college, but he is having a sensational tournament run and a sensational championship game thus far. 13 points already.
And not only is he a good football player, multi-sport guy, but he can play every position on the court for his team except for center.
He's got some hops as well. Kessler takes it into the land of trees. And it is off him and out of bounds to Bath. Here come the Fighting Bees. Red Monroe for three. And they needed that.
Yeah, beautiful release. That looks like a pure shooter shot right there.
Bryant. This shot way short. And we have a foul after the shot. Another look at Brett Monroe's arc. Monroe, a guy who averages 13 points per game. For Jeff Watch, the first-year head varsity coach. He's been the JV coach at Bath for 5 years. He played on a team that went to the championship game back in '99. They came up short to DePorres. Both teams in blue and white. Nouvel in the dark. Bath in white.
All coaches, both sides wearing blue.
Mulcahy for another three. That won't go. Rebound Monroe. Monroe again. Got it again. Reeling it now is Brett Monroe. And Warren Wood says, let's talk about this right now. The lead is suddenly down to 6.
And Brett Monroe is the captain, the leader. And if you're impressed with the footwork, getting his feet set on balance, a big part of that, he's a soccer player and actually went out for the football team this year as well and was the kicker. And you see the long-range shooting has been very good for both teams.
Brett Monroe had 13 points and 3 rebounds against Kalamazoo Christian in the semifinal game, which earned Bath the right to come here to the Breslin Center and play Saginaw Nouvel. There's number 33, a 6'2" senior. And the lone captain for the Fighting Bees.
Coming out of the break, Nouvel clearly targeting a hot play, a mismatch, something they can go to. And Bath with a surprise defense. Good adjustment. And didn't work.
Tim Ryan took a shot, couldn't get it to go. And then one of those frustration fouls.
They kind of looked like bees on that, didn't they? Bees to honey. They were sitting back in a 2-3 zone. And it sort of lulls you to sleep, and then they attacked. I'm trying to be like you, John. trying to weave all these little anecdotes in.
I am here to encourage you. Don't do that. Monroe again. And suddenly, the team that has the 2 big forces inside is taking over from the outside. Monroe with 9 straight points. McColgan. Foul underneath. And the foul is on Curtis Chafee. That's 2 on Curtis. Nick White comes back into the game.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how these games sort of take shape. Everything was going smoothly for Nouvel, and all of a sudden, you get Monroe hot, and he changes the whole complexion of the game.
Tim Ryan up top. Now a minute to play until halftime. Inside it goes. Converging on the ball. A couple of bees. Back to Ryan. His shot is blocked by Monroe. Schneider. Got it.
Remember, this is a rivalry. They played against each other this summer. It was heated. It was intense. They didn't like each other very much. And their final comments, we'll see you guys at the Breslin in March.
Well, you know, it's a hot gym. Bath had been here before. Saginaw Nouvel was trying to establish some basketball presence, and so there might have been a message to be sent. Ryan running out the clock. A one-man delay. Spread offense, letting Tim do his thing. He'll take the shot and get it off the backboard. Tim Ryan with 15 first-half points has Saginaw Nouvel Catholic Central up by a bucket at halftime. 31-29 for the Panthers over the Fighting Bees. Shireen Saski.
Thanks, John. Well, Coach Wood, you guys led by as many as 12. Now just down to 2. What adjustments do you make, especially with their outside game?
Well, we definitely got to find the shooters on the perimeter. 33's hurt us twice now with 2 big threes. We knew they were going to make some runs here in the first half. Second half, we just got to find our guys to stay with them and then hold them off the boards.
What do you tell your players in the locker room?
That we're fine. There's still another half to go. We made a good run in the first half, and there's still a lot left in us.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. John?
Thanks, Shireen. They won titles in 87, 88, and 90. Can Saginaw Nouvel win another? Or can Bath win the second in their school's history and their first in 47 years? We'll continue with coverage of the Class C championship game here on FSN Detroit.
We're so
129, Saginaw Nouvel leads the Fighting Bees of Bath at halftime of the Class C championship game here on FSN Detroit, and it has been as advertised. The stars for each team sort of stepping up. Tim Ryan for Saginaw Nouvel Catholic, and Eli Redmond and Cody Cox for the Fighting Bees of Bath, and it's a 2-point edge here at halftime. And Tim Ryan, 15 first half points. It's a Class C Player of the Year, and he's doing exactly what everybody thought that he was going to do. Is Tim Ryan, the slasher, the great quick hands and feet, and this kid is showing why he's the Player of the Year in Class C.
He's so athletic, John, and the thing that I like most about him is the creative nature of his game. He can put the ball on the floor. He can be able to create in transition. Just phenomenal the way that he is really taking over this game, and he builds confidence in his teammates. The ability to get to the rim and create. There's a situation where he makes his shots, and he's attacking off the dribble. He's just a matchup nightmare, and I'm very impressed with his skills.
And as discussed, the forwards for Bath, Eli Redmond and Cody Cox, play different styles of game. Cox has a little bit more bulk to him. Redmond, skinny, great leaper, and each of them a big part of Bath's first half.
Yeah, and I want to go back to your story before the game about how they got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they worked out. They played one-on-one. They worked on drills, and it translates into the chemistry that they have. They have more of an inside-outside attack, and Cox was so physically imposing in the first half. You look at his ability to share the ball. That's a very unselfish and mature player. He's good, 1 or 2 bounces and deliver. And also, the Nouvel scouting report is clearly focused on those guys. You're going to have to make adjustments for acrobatic plays in the rim like that, and it creates confidence and scoring opportunities for their teammates.
Isn't it often, though, that the complementary players are often the ones who decide a championship, and so much attention given to the likes of Redmond and Cox and Tim Ryan, and yet we saw Brett Monroe have a big first half, and those are the players that can determine whether a team wins a championship or not.
Well, Monroe is the beneficiary. He's like a parasite, and I use it as a compliment where he feeds off of the other people on his team. The reason that he got so many wide open shots is because of all the high quality work of his teammates.
And that's more easily said than done, because you might get the shots. It's another matter of making them. We'll continue, where we'll be joined by probably the voice of high school sports in the state of Michigan. The Detroit Free Press's Mick McCabe will visit with us as we continue in a moment. The Fighting Bees of Bath find themselves down by a bucket at halftime. Let's check in with their coach, who's alongside our Shireen Sass.
Thanks, John. Well, Coach Wanch, after a tough start, you pull off 4 3-pointers to end the half, pull within 2. What changes do you make in the second half?
Well, you know, we depended on our outside shooting a little bit, and it's scary when you do that. So we definitely want to get back to our bigs and at least go inside out. So if we're going to hit an outside shot, let it come from the inside.
Tim Ryan in double digits for Nouvel. How do you contain him?
You know, we just got to make him make special plays instead of easy putbacks and things like that. The shot he made at the end of the half, those are kind of the shots we want to make him make to win this game.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Yep.
John?
Shireen, thanks. Jeff Wanch's kids beat 3 undefeated teams in the playoffs. They're sort of the surprise team, kind of unranked most of the year, and yet they find themselves right in the thick of a Class C championship game. And look at our first half stats brought to you by Bell Tire.
A couple things. Number one is that Bath was able to double them up beyond the arc. Also, Nouvel was very strong on the offensive glass. 10 is a big number. And I think that both teams did a nice job protecting the ball, but 12 points off turnovers by Nouvel is a very, very strong showing so far in this game.
There you see Bath getting set for the second half. They're taking on Saginaw Nouvel. And just a few moments ago, inside the locker room, this was the plan for the third quarter.
We're halfway there. We made a great shot at the end. You guys were patient. We settled down. And now we finish this. Okay? Let's go.
Short and sweet from Warren Wood. Saginaw Nouvel likes the way that his team is playing. Their team is playing right now. As you look at Warren Wood, who is a guy that has coached some at the collegiate level and that has certainly found a home and a niche at Saginaw Nouvel.
Football team won the state title. The girls won it in December. They're going for 3.
Mulcahy off the back iron. Rebound Kazmierski off the glass and in. John Keating, Tim McCormick, Shireen Saski, and our FS10 Detroit crew here at the Breslin Center in East Lansing. Class C basketball for you. Cody Cox inside. He is fouled by Jared Rappin. Rappin only a sophomore, 6'5" a sophomore. His second foul.
Very fiery and excitable player. Cody Cox is the most competitive player that Coach Wanch has ever been around. And you have to be impressed with big men that can not only use the bruiser mentality, but also put the ball on the floor, show some athleticism and skill.
He had 16 points in the semifinal win over Kalamazoo Christian. Everybody on the floor, including some skin left behind. Kessler on a wing to Mulcahy. Kessler for 3. That won't go. Rebound off the top of Redmond's head, and Curtis Chafee comes away with the ball. Snyder. Mark Snyder. Big part of that semifinal win. Cody Cox sort of forced the turnover. Monroe for another 3. Rebound to Tim Ryan, settling things down.
Yeah, this starts out just like the game started, a little bit frenetic pace. The players, a lot of energy, running up and down, maybe not making some shots they normally would, and I thought that was smart of Ryan to slow it up.
Kazmierski. That won't go. Rebound Cody Cox. Redmond up top. Now Nouvel in his zone. Snyder. Rebound to Mulcahy. Kessler is stripped of the ball by Chafee. Snyder is fouled by Mulcahy at midcourt.
Like the foul. If he doesn't make contact there, it is a layup in transition.
That's the first foul on Mitch Mulcahy. Bath in white, Saginaw Nouvel in the royal blue. Cox is fouled by Kessler. He wears a bit of a "aw shucks" kind of smile. First foul on Mike.
Foul 32, Kessler, his first 13
Redmond
foul.
inside. Leaves it short. Tim Ryan will take over for the Panthers. In and out. Ryan up top. Guarded by Brett Monroe. That's short. Monroe, nice touch pass to Snyder.
Time for the ball hit the floor there in the transition. 0.
Your point is that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Coach Wood was saying that one of the problems that Nouvel has is sometimes they get a little impatient. He'd like to see them show some long possessions and work those passes.
Stolen away by Redmond. Cox on a wing. Taken away by Mulcahy. All the way to the basket. Off glass, left hand, and good. Back to a 2-point game. Cox with Rappin guarding him. Nouvel comes away with the ball. Okay, he spins away from danger. Against Cox. That won't go. Rebound to Rappin, up and in. Jared Rappin, the sophomore. Touching his head. He needs a blow.
Defensively, you'll notice Nouvel is switching a lot of their screens. They have a lot of good defenders on the perimeter.
There's the offense that we saw from Brett Monroe in the first half. He pulls the Fighting Bees back to within a couple. Subs waiting to enter the game. Mulcahy for three. Got it. And the lead is back to 5. Swing the ball around to Schneider. His 3 goes. Another 3 ball from Mark Schneider.
Yeah, good idea to slow it up, run the offense, especially because they have a very good post game and they've got some creative players. You don't want to just run up and down and shoot the ball with freestyle. This is a time to get very patient. Wow.
Sorry, Tim Mulcahy with a great feed inside to Kazmierski.
Is that motion offense? Redmond and Cox need to be the guys.
Tough shot by Cox, but followed up nicely by Redmond over Tim Ryan. And you've got to have some springs to go over Tim Ryan. Sort of an unlikely looking player, but very quick. Now, Tim Ryan is spending most of his time trying to get away from Brett Monroe, which is no small task indeed. We'll take a break. We'll step aside. It's a 2-point game again. We anticipate a great finish in the Class C championship game. It will continue from the Brez in a moment.
Welcome back to the Breslin for Class C, and C stands for close and competitive. Saginaw Nouvel. I want you to watch the way that when you're facing a good defense, you have to be able to move the defense. If you stay on one side, they're totally clued in. Now the ball starts on the right. You've got to move the defense. You go to the left. Now how do you do it? With either the pass or with the dribble. Cody Cox driving. I want you to watch how the defense all goes that way, and that creates offensive rebounding opportunities for Redmond on the weak side. Excellent A-plus possession for Bath.
2:21 to play in the third quarter. And there's Eli Redmond. Only a junior, 6'7". Averages 17 points per game. Nice push underneath. And Nick White has entered the game, as have McColgan. And Ryan Coleman. And John McColgan gets the McColgan emerging as a bit of a story here. Not much of a factor in the semifinal game, but a big part of the championship game.
Yeah, both these teams 50% from the field from 3. Neither one did much beyond the arc in their semifinal matchup.
Monroe for 3. Got it. And the lead is 1.
And if you say, well, why doesn't Monroe take more in the semifinal matchup versus Kalamazoo Christian? Monroe was 0 for 4 from 3.
Kessler's shot won't go. McColgan rebounds. Blocked by Redmond. Escapes from trouble by getting it to Hawkins. Now a minute to play in the third. Schneider for three. Got it! And Bath has the lead. Their first lead since the game's very, very beginnings. Nouvel will play for one. With many of their bench players on the floor, finishing out the third quarter. Mulcahy is one of the starters and hits a big three.
3 straight trips with a three-pointer. And we saw great three-point shooting in the Class D game. Very impressive.
Nouvel back on top now. Trying to get Eli Redmond the ball.
They don't know the time.
Final second. That shot is a wild shot that does not go. And Saginaw Nouvel, which led by 2 at halftime, leads by 1 after 3. A very entertaining third quarter. What will happen in the fourth to top that? There's only a Class C championship on the line here at the Breslin Center. Bath had their first quarter in which they outscored Saginaw Nouvel. They did so by a 17-16 margin in the third. But that's how skinny this game has been. And Brett Monroe, who averages 13 points, already has 14 in this ball game, and many of them from far away.
Let's enjoy the work from deep. 21 points for Bath from beyond the arc in this game. A wide variety of shooters, but Brett Monroe's done most of the work. 4 for 6 from beyond the arc. And it's really been a contrast in styles. They've done it off the dribble. They've done it passing the ball side to side. And it's so important because on the other bench, Saginaw Nouvel has had 28 points in the paint. They've been dominant on the glass, so this is really an interior attack versus Bath's outside.
Monroe's specialty is defense, but he's showing his offensive side, and his coach just looks upon him as a terrific player.
Since day one, and you know, we've had some issues through our season where we needed a leader, because sometimes we're just a voice. You know, the coach's voice, he's telling us everything all the time, and when they hear something from somebody that's on the team, okay, sometimes it makes a difference.
Brett Monroe, the only captain. You see some teams will have tri-captains or quad captains. Some will have the entire senior class act as captains. But at Bath, Brett Monroe is the only voice beyond that of head coach Watch. And Bath will inbounds. Down by a point. Fourth quarter underway. Picked up his dribble, and it's stolen away. There's Palmer. His layup is too strong. A foul inside on Cody Cox.
The high energy play, and Kyle James's game has really come a long way. Last year played small minutes, very strong, feisty player. He's tough, ball pressure. He's the energy guy, and everybody has a role on the team. His job is to go out there and make the opponent sweat, make them work hard, and make the hustle plays.
Kyle James drawing the foul on Cody Cox, and that is 4 now on the All-American candidate, at least from a preseason standpoint, for the Fighting Bees of Bath, and Cox will sit down. And John McColgan shooting free throws. Clearing up some confusion. Johnny Mack puts them up by 3. Mike Hawkins has entered the game for Bath. There's Monroe, guarded by Mulcahy. Nouvel's defensive stopper. Kind of a collision with Tim Ryan. Nick White's try won't go. A little too much contact between McColgan and Eli Redmond. And eventually it's whistled.
But you see, once again, that's McColgan's role. He's the energy guy. He's the toughness, getting after rebounds, making the defense sweat. He's been all over the court. A little bit too much. Maybe let that go.
2 fouls on Johnny McColgan. Chafee shot. That won't go. Put back up and in by Monroe. Brett Monroe having a terrific afternoon under the big spotlight of the Class C championship game. Tim Ryan. Good shot. Bounces away. Snyder has it taken away from him by the football team that is Nouvel. Nick White with another ill-advised long bomb. Snyder to Hawkins. Back to Snyder, and a foul on Nick White. Second on Nick.
Really been impressed by the versatility of Monroe. Maybe not quite as much credit as Redmond and Cox, but easily the same caliber player.
Nick White, who is playing with a bad knee and a bad ankle, so he can afford that tumble. So he will sit. And Mark Schneider will shoot free throws, having made the first one. Second one won't go. And Tim Ryan rebounds. Ryan is fouled.
Now, big first half for Tim Ryan, and they're going to need to get him going. He's gotten off to a little bit of a slow start in the second half, and there's no doubt if they win the championship, it's on him. No points in the first half. We'll see if we can get him on track a little bit here.
To be fair, he sat for a bit of the third quarter as they rested him for the fourth. And we are there now, and we are tied now. Just over 6.5 to play. 49-49 for the Class C championship.
Cover me on that, James.
49-49, Nouvel and Bath. And Nouvel is trying for a rather unheard of almost trifecta. 3 state championships perhaps in one school year. So football check, girls basketball check, boys basketball perhaps. The hope is of the head basketball coach.
Well, told me early on after the girls won their state championship, said, Warren, you got some big shoes to fill, but no, we definitely use that as a positive motivator for our kids. We've used the football experience, because about half our team played football, to understand what it's like playing in the big-time atmosphere. And then we use the girls' basketball state championship to say, hey, you know, a group of individuals can come together and be successful at that level.
Tim Ryan will shoot free throws for Warren Wood. There you go. Well, perhaps, says Bath. Not quite so fast, say the Fighting Bees. Tim Ryan's sister Jenny, big part of the girls basketball championship at Saginaw Nouvel, and he has said that the two of them can talk their share of trash in the pickup games in the driveway. But there is no bigger fan of Tim Ryan right now than Jenny Ryan, as she and the rest of the Panther faithful look on and see their team up by a point.
Offensively, when you have 3 20-point caliber scorers, makes you so tough to cover.
Monroe again. Brett Monroe continues and pumps his chest, saying it's on me now. He is feeling it, and just happens to be guarding the best offensive player on Saginaw Nouvel at the other end. McColgan over Redmond. That's a big bucket.
I love it when teams come out of timeouts and they execute and get great looks, especially when you've got a hot shooter like Monroe. You run set plays. The players all know they need to get him the ball.
Chafee to Redmond. Eli Redmond with a great spin away from trouble, and he puts it up and in. And now Bath leads by 2. Running one-hander by Ryan won't go.
This really has the feel, doesn't it, of a game that's going to be decided with someone having the ball, having to make a play.
Schneider for 3. And Warren Wood says, hang on a second. His Panthers are now down 5.
From deep shooting, you've got Monroe giving confidence, pumping his chest. The crowd is going nuts. And on the weak side, making the extra pass. Feet set, under control, knocking it down to Schneider. He loves to score, doesn't he?
Of the last 12 three-pointers taken by Bath, they have hit 9 of them. And that's why they have closed the gap and moved past the Panthers. Now up 47-52 with just beyond 5 minutes to play.
Defensively, you're a straight man. Okay, straight man. Right? Communicate your picks. Okay, anyone gets beat, help is there, and everyone else rotates. Either for the pass or for the rebound. But you gotta be there. Okay, that's the thing where he puts himself to be ready for it. Even when you're putting the ball, someone can get you. Okay, so make sure you take care of it. All right, hey, and relax. Okay, you guys are playing great. Look on my team. I'm playing great. Go to a zone. They go to a zone. We're gonna run. We're gonna screen the baseline. Run box, mix. You're a 2-guard front. You guys are on the block. Okay? Go.
Bath had a very nice run last year. Came up just short. They were coached last year by Bruce Miller, who has retired. He of the Lansing Area Sports Hall of Fame. And somewhere in Florida, he's on a golf course, we're told. But, you know, he is with the Fighting Bees in spirit. And he has turned over the reins to young Jeff Watts, just 26 years old. And in his first year as a head varsity coach, he has his team playing in a championship game. And beyond that, now up by 5 with 5 minutes to play.
Handles his team very well, and I especially like the way he coaches the three-point shooting so far in this game. Schneider and Monroe, 27 points beyond the arc.
Ball was turned over, but then Eli Redmond took a bit of an extra step, and Nouvel will get it back. That's a big turn of events.
Let's see if he makes the steal. Nice hustle, getting on the floor. It's time. For some of these guys, 5 minutes left in their career.
No pressure or anything. Tim Ryan with sort of a wild shot, gets his own rebound, can't hit that. Redmond rebounds, and there is a foul underneath.
Boy, Tim Ryan on pace for a 30-point game in the first half. Has come out very flat here in the second half, not getting open looks, and when he does, missing layups.
We had talked about that, him sort of battling through a wall in a semifinal game. And you wonder if that might be the case here in the championship game. But he is their star. Redmond way up top. Chafee blocked from behind. But a foul is called on Ryan Palmer, to the great dismay of one Ryan Palmer.
Let's see if there's contact. Yep, got him across the arm. Good penetration. Now, one key element is you think about the ability to get to the rim. Cody Cox has 4 fouls, and you have to ask, when does he come back in? Because he will strengthen that interior attack a great deal for Bath.
Jared Rappin will come back in. John McColgan will sit. Curtis Chafee shooting free throws. 2 points so far for the game for Curtis. And he can't hit. Here come the Panthers, led by Tim Ryan. Mulcahy, who hit a big three-pointer in overtime against Detroit Community. Part of the offensive push for the Panthers. That is Mike Kessler working his way inside with a big scoop.
Pretty tricky.
And now the lead is 3. Kessler, Ron Chafee. Ball's taken away. Here comes Tim Ryan with Hawkins back. Offensive foul on Tim Ryan. Hawkins draws the charge.
Wow.
And all of Saginaw Nouvel has their hands on top of head.
I want you to look and see if defensively he was back in position. No, that's the wrong call. It's very tough because they're moving so fast, but Ryan was dead even with him. What a critical call in this comeback. Probably the toughest in all basketball.
There's a no call on collision underneath the basket. Kessler drawing the contact, and ball out of bounds, and Bath will retain possession.
The referee's doing a great job in this game, and that's really the first one in the entire contest that would be a little bit questionable.
Absolutely. Palmer knocks it out of bounds. 3:45 to play now.
Game like this, the mop guy really getting a lot of work because there's bodies on the floor at both ends.
Bath has won 18 straight basketball games. Number 19 would give them a state title, their first in 47 years. As Cody Cox back into the game on Palmer. Ryan attempted to strip. Tapped away, but over the back went Eli Redmond. And the Panthers will get it back.
John, are we going to get 4 games like this today? This is pretty special.
Well, it'll be tall cotton for Matt Shepard and Greg Kelser to match what we have seen thus far.
That's what I like about you, John, is you always call close games.
Would that it were always so. This is a dandy. Kessler baseline. Rapping way away from the basket. Palmer. That won't go. But it's tapped out of bounds by Cody Cox.
Never a real big fan of, as you see the Class A final today at 4, that when you don't have other options, you just shoot the ball. There was nobody open, so he said, I've been working hard all day. I deserve a shot. I'm going to crank one up there.
No shot clock in high school basketball, which is one of the things we like about the game. Saginaw Nouvel finally works it inside to Mulcahy. Kessler stops. Off the back iron. Rebound to Ryan. Against Cox. And is that 5 on Cody Cox?
Big play. And that's what star players do. Remember Tim Ryan, the Class C Player of the Year. Cox 6 down with more fouls than points. Bit of a surprise, straight up and down, but he came down. You saw the arm come right down on top, and very difficult because now all of a sudden Bath loses one of their primary scorers. Tim Ryan gets some easy points to gain confidence.
Back to a 2-point game. Cox not having his normal offensive performance, making the points from Brett Monroe that much more special. Tim Ryan can only hit 1 of 2, but takes it away, and he'll shoot another couple.
I'm not sure how you stop Tim Ryan. I know he has a poor shooting second half going on, but maybe that's even more of a testament to how good he is. You're shutting him down from the field, so he's a grinder. He's going to find ways to generate some points. He'll score in transition, offensive rebounds, off the dribble. Very tough.
Tim's having a hard time spotting the bottom of the basket. 15 points in the first half, 17 now for the game, as we're approaching 3 minutes to play. He gets 1 of 2. And it's back to a 1-point edge. And Bath will take a timeout, a 30-second timeout. Win the moment. You see on the t-shirts there, on the Fighting Bees of Bath, they felt that with everything going on, all the expectations, settle everything down to just what was right there in front of you. So win the moment became sort of the slogan for the team this year. Let's check back in with Shireen Saski. Shireen, with one of the Tim Ryan fans in the building.
I would say this has to be Tim Ryan's biggest fan, his sister Jenny. Jenny, how tough is it to watch this right now?
It's a lot harder than playing, I'll tell you that much. It's so hard, you just wish you could be out there. But we're doing all we can in the stands. The fans are good, and hopefully these boys can pull it out.
Did you talk to your brother today? If so, what did you guys say to each other?
We just were basically reminiscing about our past experiences, and I just told him to have fun and do what he does best.
Thanks a lot, Jenny. Enjoy the rest of the game. John?
All right, Shireen, thank you. They wear the same number 24. I'm sure there was some thought put into that. Hawkins against Ryan. Rebound to Rappin, and he is fouled. And we will shoot free throws.
Jared Rappin has developed every year a little bit better. JV is a freshman. Didn't have much of a post game. Play with the back to the basket now, and you see the footwork coming on. Part of the reason, a lot of these guys played multiple sports. Jared, a very good tennis player. Just imagine him at the net.
Well, we talked to Tim Ryan and Jenny Ryan. Jared's sister, Rebecca, is a two-sport star. All state in volleyball and basketball.
And don't you believe that the sisters benefit so much from having the brothers that play? They get out in the backyard, and the competition is really the fuel for improvement.
I would say the brothers will take something away from the sisters as well.
Have them bring their cute friends over to play basketball too. You like that?
2.5 to go now in the Class C championship in a tie game. Eli Redmond, the primary option offensively for Bath. And a bit of a collision between Kessler and Chafee.
Ouch.
And that's the second foul on Mike Kessler.
But did you see the sportsmanship after that? Just good, hard basketball. Remember, these teams played in the summer league against each other this summer. And they both said that it was very confrontational and physical, maybe a little nasty on the court. And as they were leaving the court, they kind of looked at each other and they smiled, they smirked and had a little fun and said, we'll see you guys in the Breslin back in March, and it certainly come true.
And what are the odds of that happening? Because so much can happen to a team in the course of 10 months, really, since they last saw each other. But here they are, as promised. 1 of 2 goes Chafee, and it's a 1-point game.
Well, I can promise you this, from what I've seen so far, John, as we turn it over to Matt and Greg, I'm going to race home and watch the A and B championships later today.
Mulcahy for 3, yes! Mitch Mulcahy with a big bucket. Schneider for 3, got it!
Welcome to the Mulcahy-Schneider show from deep. And those are the 2 biggest shots that those players have ever hit in their life. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Punch and counter punch here in the Class C championship. Under 2 minutes to play now, and it's a 1-point game.
Dueling 3-point shots, beautiful drive and kick. It's all of a sudden, Nouvel's feeling good about themselves. We're exactly where we need. And Schneider, who has had huge shots, especially here in the second half. What a delivery.
Mark Schneider, the junior, just 5'9", puts it in as Jeff Watts talks to Schneider and cover.
Stay out on the shooter. Stay out on the shooter. Defensively, ball pressure, full court, okay? And then know who they're running plays for, okay? When you see 2 guys set like this, and you see their best player down here, you know, okay? You know, so make sure you step up and help. Step up and help, okay? Hey, we're winning right now. We're winning. Boys. Okay, keep it down, baby. You play hard for another minute. Yeah, you get it. Boys, you come here, Mike. Hits. Okay? Let's go. Hey, go. Here we go. Let's go. All right, here we go.
From that, might we glean that Tim Ryan is the primary offensive thrust of this possession?
Yeah, it looked like a two-pronged attack. Either drive and kick for Ryan. If nothing's there, give him the ball and get out of his way, because he's a creative scorer, not only for himself, but in these situations, he finds people.
And now here comes the pressure.
Keep an eye on 2-4 in blue.
Cahey on baseline. Brett Monroe has his eyes on 2-4. Bath by 1. Shot blocked from behind by Redden.
Yeah, in those situations, the Class C Player of the Year needs a touch.
Monroe somehow gets the ball out to Redden. There's Schneider. Monroe thought about it. Coming down to a minute left in a one-point game with a state championship on the line. Redden turns. That won't go. Ball is rebounded inside by Hawkins. Mike Hawkins with a big putback makes it a 3-point lead. Timeout, Saginaw Nouvel.
The defense was so extended. They're so worried about the perimeter shots, especially the threes. And look at Hawkins grinding underneath, getting physical, and making a huge play. One possession game if it's a triple. Defensively, let's listen in, try to figure out what they're going to do. I believe that it's going to be a clear out. Defensively, you got to pack it in.
Yeah. Marking, no help. Take care of these spots on the inbound. Okay? And then play defense, help each other out. You got to be there for each other. Communicate. 1 minute. Hey, especially these high screens right out here. Just like that. Bring it back, Mike. You're looking. Tim is your first option. Okay? Mitch is the second. If he's a killer, let's go to the rim. Here we go.
Well, I don't have any true basketball coaching experience beyond coaching my kids' teams, but hearing Tim is our first option doesn't exactly surprise me.
He reiterated that point because he didn't get a touch the last trip. And when I said you want your defense compact, I think your strategy is to get feet in the paint and close out the shooters. So far in this game, Nouvel has made 5 threes, which is okay, but I believe right now they're going to try to get something to the rim, get those easy points.
A little early to be worrying about the three. Cahey into the paint. Nice catch by Ryan. From the baseline. That won't go. But it's rebounded by Hawkins. And then he throws it away, trying to go cross court. That's a big opportunity for Saginaw Nouvel. And that's a dagger for Bath. As they're trying to wring whatever seconds are left off this clock.
And once again, you may say we need a 3 immediately. No, that's not the case. If you can get that quick layup, I put somebody on the line, because if it's a 1-point game, I'm just not confident in kids making those kind of free throws. I think that a quick hoop is the easiest way to win this game.
Nick White and Palmer have come into the game for Saginaw Nouvel. There's Palmer, the 3. His shot won't go, and it's rebounded by the guard, Chafee, who is fouled with 24.9 seconds to go, and trying to extend Bath's lead beyond 3 points.
But what a manly rebound by a guard, going inside, not afraid, and he wasn't going to give that thing up. I get the sense that Curtis wanted these free throws. These are the ones where you're a little kid in the summer and you go to the line and say, for a state championship, can I make these 2 free throws?
5 foot 10-inch senior.
That looked like backyard, didn't it?
It is now a 2-possession game. And Saginaw Nouvel will ask Mr. Chafee to think about it a little bit more. 30-second timeout for Saginaw Nouvel. They're trying to somehow find their way to a 3rd state championship this school year. But they're down by 4 with time quickly escaping.
Now, the storyline here, John, there's really no hesitation in figuring it out. Mark Schneider, get this, 5 of 7 from 3. And then his shooting mate, Brett Monroe, 5 for 7 from 3. That's unheard of, that kind of percentage in this environment.
And as we talked about, sometimes it is the peripheral players, not that their value is any less, but they are not the stars on this team, and it is they who step up that often determine whether a team wins a championship. Curtis Chafee can extend a 4-point lead. Short. Here comes Nouvel. Mulcahy. Short. Hawkins another rebound. Mike Hawkins becoming a big part of what's happening. A 6'2" junior. This is a guy who broke his foot this year, missed half the season, lost some speed, went from starter to 6th man, and yet in spite of a broken foot was at every practice.
Last year he was on the JV, a big scorer, and this year he has accepted a subordinate role. Next year right back to being a star.
Still a 4-point game. Still plenty of time for Nouvel. They just need a basket and a foul and another chance. Hawkins can't hit either one. Ooh, Ryan is fouled. And that is big. The chance to put some points on the board without taking any seconds off the board. And Tim Ryan has struggled of late at the free throw line.
When you're such a good shooter and you're struggling at the line, wouldn't it be good just to bounce it a couple times and rise up and shoot that jump shot? Obviously, his sister very concerned.
69.3% success rate from the free throw line during the course of the season. And Brett Monroe fouled out on that possession. And so he just brought his team together and encouraged them. I got you here. You finish it off. And now Bath will take a full timeout. Woo! This is great stuff. We hope you're with us earlier today. Cedarville beat Wyoming Tri-Unity Christian for the Class D championship in a bit of a barn burner. Same story in Class C. Saginaw Nouvel just 4 points down with 15.3 seconds. Warren Wood, we asked him earlier what might happen if the game was down the line and his team had the ball.
You gotta want the ball more than anything else. If you're afraid to take the shot, it's probably not going to go in, or things aren't going to go the way you want. Gotta want the ball.
Guards in here.
Well, there is the coach's star, Tim Ryan, who wants the ball, as you might expect. He will get the ball at the free throw line. And Warren Wood is counting on the likes of Ryan and company for some late game dramatics to perhaps pull his team even and perhaps beyond. As Saginaw Nouvel tries for their 4th Class C state basketball championship in school's history.
And in case you're not impressed with Ryan's second half. He had 15 at the break, 3 in the second half, a total of 18. We'll focus on the 13 rebounds. He's a perimeter player that just does a lot.
At the line, Ryan.
Absolutely huge free throws now for the Class C Player of the Year, Tim Ryan. He's made 6 of 10 thus far. That won't go. Redmond rebounds. And a foul. And the disappointment on the face of Tim Ryan is absolutely staggering.
You know, make a free throw, win a state championship. At this point, Bath does not need a foul. After the last free throw, Ryan had the opportunity with the careless contact. And stepping to the line for the first time today is Eli Redmond.
Somewhat surprising for a guy who plays as much as he does in the paint. He has not yet taken a free throw. Redmond hits.
As a freshman, 6'4", has grown to 6'7", post, perimeter. And he and Cody Cox, who's fouled out, work very well together on the front line. Monroe handles most of the work from the perimeter.
On the bench players for Bath have arms linked. And Tim Ryan pulls something off. His try for a 3 won't go. And that might do it. Bath with a basketball. And they will run out the clock. It will be the happiest 8-mile journey taken in the state of Michigan today. From nearby East Lansing is the small community of Bath, closed down for the most part on semifinal Thursday, even more so on championship Saturday. And all those in attendance have watched Bath, the Fighting Bees of Bath, bring the state championship home. Great game.
Yeah, it was, and now Cody Cox can finally shave because he has his championship growth from way back. And you know, this team is really impressive. They've got the inside, the out, and Coach Wanch has really worked with his team. You can see the fundamentals.
They'll begin to hand out the hardware here at the Breslin Center. We'll show you some of that as our championship Saturday continues, as Cody Cox and company enjoy a moment that they have dreamed about. It's all reality here in East Lansing all of a sudden. Well, the danger is that they may sprain some face muscles. That's how big the smiles are on the faces of the Fighting Bees of Bath. Their long battle, after having been perhaps not given the respect that they felt they deserved, unranked at various points of this season, well, they have won it all. And as they celebrate their opponents in the championship game, Saginaw Nouvel, as they receive their runners-up medals, you can see the disappointment on the faces of the Panthers. The Fighting Bees of Bath, in a terrific basketball game, have beaten Saginaw Nouvel Catholic to win it all. And they'll take a state championship trophy home. Some other thoughts?
I thought it was a very well-played game, but the story is that Bath just shoots the ball so well. To score 30 points from beyond the arc and to shoot such a high percentage, what was really the kind of game that they needed, being the underdog against a very powerful Nouvel team.
And how about for young Jeff Wanch, who you see there on your screen, all of 26 years old in his first year as a varsity head coach. He might be thinking about a raise. That's pretty good. That's pretty good stuff right there.
That's good. I like that. And he seems like he really knows what he's doing out there. Congratulations. Bath was very impressive.
Well, all the face paint will eventually come off, and the memories will last a lifetime for both Bath and for Saginaw Nouvel Catholic. Bath comes up with a final of 65-60. in the Class C championship game. Our next game is at 4 p.m. with a Class A final featuring Saginaw taking on Detroit Redford. Now for Tim McCormick and Shereen Saski, I'm John Keating saying so long for the Breslin Center. 65-60, Bath over Saginaw Nouvel. You've been watching high school basketball on MHSAA Detroit. A recap of all today's championship action on a special edition of DSR tonight. So long for now from East Lansing.